We're on our way now to Grand Teton National Park. We are taking the long way from a distance perspective. Today's goal, Grand Teton National Park and Gros Ventre Campground. We drove south along Highway 298, or the Chief Joseph Highway. There's a long story about how Chief Joseph got his Christian name, but I prefer his Indian name, Hinmatuyalatek, or Thunder Rolling Down the Mountain. And indeed he was. Back in Yellowstone, we came in through the east entrance. Literally, it took us 15 seconds to get through. There was no line. We had the America the Beautiful Pass. That's awesome. The east entrance from Cody takes you to the east side of Yellowstone Lake, then north across the famous fishing bridge, and ultimately back down the west side of the lake. The drive was beautiful, but long and smoke-filled. When you realize how big it is and realize that there's a magma chamber not only under that lake but this whole area, you realize with absolute certainty one thing: we're doomed. Ultimately, we exited Yellowstone and passed by Lewis and Jackson Lake. And it was here that we got our first glimpse, or rather lack of a glimpse, of the majestic Teton mountain range. Nearby forest fires were creating tons of smoke, obscuring our vision, and that was going to plague us our entire stay at Grand Teton. As a result, we decided to change our focus a bit, from hiking and grand views to trying to see as much wildlife as we possibly could, and the Gros Ventre Campground is supposed to be good for that. After what seemed like an eternity, we finally made it to Gros Ventre Campground. Check-in was super easy. They were waiting there. They come to your car. They give you directions to your campsite, and off we went. Okay, so he said left, right?
Correct.
There are several things we noticed when we got into the park. First, it seems massive, and apparently there are 279 sites spread across 7 loops. These are dry camping sites except for 39 that have electric-only hookups, 10 of which are ADA compliant. But there are a number of bathrooms with flush toilets and water spigots. Alas, and much to our chagrin, no showers. Washing by the dump station under the black water tank rinse hose is not suggested. And during our visit, fires were prohibited. Here's our site on the left, and it's pointed the wrong way. We should have made a U-turn in one of the loops and come at it the other way, but Pam just backed that baby in like a pro. After we unhooked, we decided to take a 30-mile drive north to Signal Mountain Lodge and the only public showers and laundry in the area. We really needed a shower. That didn't work out because I realized I left all the windows open in the camper. Very bad bear etiquette in Gros Ventre. So we decided to head back 20 miles into our trip and make sure everything was okay. It was. But what you see here is the best view of the Tetons we had our entire trip. When you travel to the west in late summer and early fall, wildfires are just something you're going to have to deal with. The west loves to burn. The next morning, we got up early to see if we could catch a glimpse of moose down by the Gros Ventre River. So, smelling bad and all, probably scaring anything away with our lack of showers, we headed out towards the river. People say they're here, but we don't know because we haven't seen any yet. Finding our way through the thicket was a little bit more difficult than I thought, but ultimately we found the river, but no moose or wildlife of any kind. Gros Ventre means big belly, I believe. At this point, we decided to drive back into Grand Teton National Park and take a lower elevation hike at String Lake. It was here that we noticed something else. This place is busy. So we have been on the String Lake Trail for 3 minutes, 5 minutes maybe, and we've already seen 5 times more people on this trail than in Yellowstone. The trail itself was really nice, easy, flat, would have been some iconic views. Ultimately took us all the way to Jenny Lake and a place called Hidden Falls, which again is beautiful but super popular. After about a 5.5 mile hike, Pam and I are at Signal Mountain Lodge and Campground in Grand Teton, and we just had two of the best showers ever. First shower in 6 days. Every day we hiked, we did something. Man, we smelled, Pam in particular. Woo! And now we're enjoying Huckleberry ice cream because Pam said on this trip she is looking for everything Huckleberry. So we're gonna do this while we're waiting for laundry. With the laundry done and the day turning to early evening, wildlife viewing should be at a premium. We decided to head farther north to a place called Pilgrim Creek, which people said is a popular bear watching area. So we've been here for about, I don't know, half hour. No grizz, no deer, no antelope plain, but we haven't given up yet. Well, we did give up, so then we drove back farther south to Oxbow Bend, made famous by Ansel Adams. Nothing there, and then ultimately to Schwalbacher Landing, which was also supposed to be a guaranteed viewing area. Nothing there either. But I do think I loosened a tooth on the drive in. The wildlife thing didn't exactly work out, but hey, we're not done. We're all clean and gussied up. We are going into that consummate cowboy town, Jackson. There's the famous Antelope Arch, and across the street is the Cowboy Bar. There was a line. I'm from Wisconsin. I never wait to get into a bar. Come to your favorite Wild West town to get organic sorbet. Somehow this doesn't seem very country. Said we did find some reasonably priced good food at a place called Liberty Burger. Next morning we got up and left before dawn. On our way back from Pilgrim Creek, so we went to Oxbow Bend, saw nothing. We went to Willis Flat Overlook, saw nothing. Last ditch effort for wildlife viewing this morning was Pilgrim Creek, and we thought we ran out of luck, but at the end of the road, literally at the end of the road, Pam saw a black bear, and it was kind of fun. We thought it was a grizzly at first, no such luck. And now we're heading over to Mormon Row, just going to take a look at the barns and things there. Unfortunately, there's no good view of the mountains, still just shrouded in smoke. On the way back, we ran into a buffalo jam. I've seen enough buffalo to last a lifetime, but babies are kind of cute. No, I guess that's a good way to go photo hunting. Mormon Row is where a group of settlers made their home and where you see that iconic picture of the barn with the Tetons in the background. There's more here than just the barn, and if you think about it, you get a sense of how rough these people had it when the cold and the snow piled up back in the day. I'm pretty sure this wimpy would have perished very quickly. If you like history, check it out. After our time at Mormon Row, we headed back towards Jackson on a dirt road and wildlife viewing of a different sort. National Museum of Wildlife Art, right outside of Jackson. Outside the museum are wildlife sculptures of moose, wolf, birds, and others, along with spirit totems. They have so many cool carvings outside the National Wildlife Museum. Like buffalo and bear and elk and all that kind of stuff. In fact, there's so many that you don't even have to go inside if you don't want to, right, Pam?
If you don't want to, but I want to.
Admittedly, it was pretty cool inside, but the $18 per person price tag to see the two halls seemed a little bit steep, so we gave a donation instead. Just because we were already close, we drove back into Jackson and stopped at the Cowboy Bar for a beer. Yeah, it's a bar. It's okay. Jackson's kind of cool, but busy. And finally, on our last morning in Gros Ventre, it happened. Finally, we just saw one, a big bull moose in Gros Ventre Campground. Very cool. So now our trip to Gros Ventre is complete. But Gros Ventre was not done with us yet. We caught this on the way out. Overall, we really enjoyed our time at Grand Teton National Park. Yeah, it's a bit busy and Yeah, Jackson's not exactly a western cowboy town anymore, but it's an iconic park, and smoke or no smoke, it's absolutely worth seeing. Next up, a quick stop in Stanley, Idaho, and then on to Joseph in the Wallowas. Until next time, everyone, thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Carry on. Cheers.
Ooh, they got an art gallery here.